Welcome back. You're watching news with me on SABC News. Now, discrimination at school on the grounds of hair has reared its ugly head once again. 13 schools in KwaZulu-Natal, well, they're accused of forcing pupils who are members of the Nazarine Baptist Church, forcing them to cut their hair. The church, popularly known as the Shembe Church, forbids members from cutting their hair. The matter first came to light when a 15-year-old grade 9 pupil from the Sicelo Setu High School in Ngwavuma complained to the Commission for the Promotion and Protection of the Rights of Cultural, Religious and Linguistic Communities. The Department of Education is now in trouble with the law after its teachers ignored Chapter 9 institution's order to stop discriminating against pupils belonging to the Shembe Church. Now, earlier this year, a Pretoria school, of course, was accused of racism for allegedly telling black girls to straighten their hair, not wear afros. Now, how do we show respect for the school's code of conduct without depriving learners of their right to respect and follow their religion and other associated practices? To talk about this, in studio this morning, Thando Sipuye is a master's candidate and executive member of the Afrocentric Study Group at the University of Fort Hare. Thando, very good morning to you. Thanks for being with us.
Morning, thank you for having me.
Quick overview, religion and hair, should they ever mix?
Well, religion and hair do mix. In African spirituality, hair plays a very important role in actually really connecting our people with the universe, connecting with God, the divine, but also connecting with nature. And so, but also in Christianity as well. If you read in the Bible, there are stories of Samson. You read about the Nazarenes, you read about Jesus Christ, who also is always portrayed as having long hair. And so hair and religion do mix.
And what about Rastafari, this kind of religious practice? It's almost an even deeper spiritual pursuit, isn't it?
Well, in Rastafari is an expression of African spirituality, African religion, African culture. And so even in Rastafari, hair plays a very important role. Because hair actually carries ancestral memory and it carries our consciousness, our collective consciousness.
Why do you then think this attack on African hair and this idea that if you grow African hair, it cannot be neat?
You know, this comes from the histories of colonialism. You cannot see this just as a hair issue. It is connected to our broader histories of colonialism. It speaks to issues of our dispossession. It speaks to issues of the denigration of our culture, denigration of our spirituality, but also the erasure of our African identity as a people. And so that is really, what I think.
Is there a balance between what they call these schools' code of conduct that has to be respected and finding hair that's acceptable within this paradigm?
You know, the main issue here, for me, I want us not to focus this only on an issue of codes of conduct and just hair, but look at it in the broader histories, what this speaks to. This speaks to an issue of our people being subjected to a constant dehumanization, our people being constantly erased, and our people being undermined, you know, and subjected to codes of conduct that are colonial, that are really rooted in white colonial stereotypes about African people, our culture, our hair, and that sort of, even including our skin, for that matter, you know.
Now, we've seen, and the way forward, now we've seen in Cape Town, a school has come out, Westerford High School. It's one of the well-to-do schools, if you can call it that, in Cape Town. They've now come out and they said, no more hair policies, as long as the hair is neat. Men can wear long hair, they can wear ponytails. Shouldn't that be the way forward for all schools in South Africa, where we abolish the kind of historical context we have with these hair policies and kind of chart a new way forward?
I think that should be the way. In going forward, we should really accept people as they are, as they come, because hair has nothing really to do with what you learn. It has nothing to do with the content that comes into your mind, you know, when you're studying and learning in the classroom. Yeah. And so really we should do away with those things because really they are rooted in really dehumanizing our people and continuing the very same colonial culture, colonial stereotypes.
Stereotype is what we have to fight in this case. Thank you. Thando for coming in. He's a master's candidate and executive member of the Afrocentric Study Group at the University of Fort Hare. His name is Thando Sipuye, and he was talking to us about hair and, well, how deeply rooted oppression is in what we understand our hair to be.